Ladies and gentlemen, we have another tablet in the tablet marketplace thing right now. Google made a new tablet, but it's more than just a tablet. It's like they're like Google Nest Stand, except you can detach the tablet, and it's actually an Android tablet now, because they were thinking, we already make this Nest thing. How can we improve upon it? So what they did was they added a detachable tablet, because essentially the screen was just a basic tablet that could do tablet things. But they said, why don't we make this a docking station? And they did it with the Pixel tablet. So in this video, I'm going to talk about it. And then we're going to react to MKBHD's video because he provides all the details on the tablet. But like I watched a couple of videos on this already, and it was pretty interesting because this is like a very basic tablet. It doesn't do anything like too special, in my opinion. It's like a 60 hertz panel. The bezels are kind of big. Bezels are white, which I don't like, actually. I think all bezels should just be black. It just blends in with the screen better. 60 hertz panel LCD. I think it's like something by 1600 resolution, so slightly above 1080p. It's rocking Google Tensor Chip G2. It's like underclocked performance, and it's running like the Pixel sort of software. Pixel sort of stock Android feel with mediocre cameras and mediocre sound systems / speakers. So let's get into this. That's an overview of it. If you want to click on the video, click off the podcast video, you can. But let's hop into the MKBHD reaction. If you don't know, guys, this is like my favorite tech YouTuber. Coming from me, the expert in all technology, I get all my info from Marquez because he has 17 million subscribers, and he has a team that researches all this stuff and takes all this complex information and synthesizes it into a little video. So let's hop right into it. There you go.
Hey, what's up? I'm MKBHD here. Okay, I'm going to make myself sound really old tablets and Chrome OS tablets a little bit.
I'm going to skip around.
Or super premium or high-end or exciting, and neither are any of the other smart home displays. But I do want to talk about it. It's also a little bit interesting and underrated in how important this tablet could be to other tablets.
So the docking station is the most important thing in this tablet because it's also a great value because you're getting like great external speakers that can connect directly to it. And it not only does that, it's just a charging station, so you don't have to constantly get your cable out to plug it in. You just slap it on with the magnets and you're good to go. Also, like if you're concerned about battery life, he addresses that in this video too. But like obviously, if you're just going to sit here and charge your tablet forever, obviously it's going to degrade the battery because you're constantly like inserting voltage into this battery and it's already fully charged, which is going to harm it, obviously. But they like cap you at a certain percentage. I think it's like 90% they cap you at, so it'll stop charging once it hits that, so it'll never be fully charged using the dock. If you want to fully charge it, you need an external charger.
So let's talk about it. So as a tablet, this thing is pretty simple. I really like the soft touch finish on the back. This is the porcelain color, and it hides fingerprints really, really well. Feels solid in the hand. It's actually made of metal, but you honestly could never...
They also have the webcam in the right spot, ladies and gentlemen, not at the top in portrait mode.
...tell just holding it thanks to this coating, but it's very basic. Single camera on the back corner, volume buttons with the
fingerprint sensor. Do you see that? You see that? How they color coded it?
Inside cool. Fingerprint reader that doubles as a power button up at the top. There's a set of speakers on the left and right that sounds okay, but
sound mid at best.
Really doesn't have much bass at all.
USB-C.
And the USB-C port is on the... And there's some
I already know what
magnets
he's gonna
in
say.
The tablet, which you can also see here with this magnet paper. And so when you line those, I think it's super cool. And it's actually the only way to charge the tablet that comes in the box.
They got some really cool clock interfaces on this thing.
There is no USB-C cable in here. It's just the dock, which has a barrel connector that connects to the wall. And the dock is basically, it's just a speaker in a box, really, with some pins. Super simple. The pins kind of retract a little bit when you touch them, which is cool. But basically the premise is there's some magnets.
Kind of looks like a Google Home mini mesh, sort of.
In the dock, as you can see here. So it's just like connecting like an iPad to a keyboard. It just works right away. It holds it at a pretty good angle too. It's basically straight up and down. It looks just like a Nest Home hub.
I wish they could allow you to change the angle. That should be in the next generation, because it's kind of annoying. Like, it's only at that certain angle. Although, I mean, you're not going to be looking at this on the dock too much. I take that back. It depends on where you're putting it in your house and what the proper height is. So next gen, Google, if you're listening, add a height adjustment or angle adjustment.
When you put it on the dock like that,
shouldn't be that hard.
Magnets are pretty strong. You can pop it off with one hand if you want to. I'm just glad that this comes in the box and isn't an additional $130. First of all, the charging speed is up to 15 watts, which is
It's pretty slow.
not that fast. It's a tablet battery, so it's pretty big. It takes a while to charge.
That's slower than the iPhone 20-watt charger, I believe. Yeah, that's slower.
And then the
I think
speaker
that's like MagSafe charging.
in here is not that great. I would say it feels on par with like the Nest Hub Mini at best. So the speakers in the tablet are, like I said, they're fine, but they really lack a lot of bass. And then when you add it to the speaker dock, you're getting like 20 to 30% more volume, but it's mostly just adding the bass back. But it's not super loud. Here, I'll give you a little sample. Not a ton of bass, right? All low end, and it's quick too. It's immediate as soon as I pop it off.
Yeah, it didn't sound that too much louder. That's kind of interesting.
Back to the speakers,
With something that size, how is that not outputting more volume?
but it's not the loudest thing in the world. Honestly, I guess it's fine. This dock cannot be used as a Bluetooth speaker or anything else when the tablet
What? You can't use it as a Bluetooth speaker? Come on, Google.
isn't attached, but honestly, I don't think you'd want to. It's basically just sits there and is waiting for the tablet to be attached to it. What's funny though is it does help with the battery. So the battery life on this tablet was decent for me, but it did have particularly weak standby life for some reason. It would drop like 10% overnight sometimes, which could be a bug. Either way, the idea is when you're done using it, you can pop it onto the dock, and it is literally just a smart speaker.
Why don't they have these today? I just thought about this. Like, why hasn't anyone invented this yet? Like Apple, I'm shocked Apple hasn't created anything like this.
Now, if you really wanted to, you could buy another one and put it in a different room.
Oh, come on. Who's buying two of these? Come on,
And
Marquez.
then when it's in the kitchen, per se, it'll show you certain things. When it's in the bedroom, it'll show you.
No.
I really like the new dock, the software dock. So the home button at the bottom, you can swipe up at any time, and all the same gestures work like normal, but there's a new gesture where you just grab the bottom bar and swipe up just a little bit, and that brings up a dock, which is the exact same order of whatever apps you had in your home screen dock. It also
that's
shows
kinda
up in
cool.
multitasking, and then from there you can switch
Is that not part of Android right now?
to a recent app or
No, it's not.
initiate multitasking by dragging something to half the screen to get two things going at once. It works great. It's simple. I use it all the time for going back and forth.
Wonder if they're going to keep this separate on the tablet OS or bring this over to stock Android on Google phones.
Between two things quickly. So I really like that. Then number 2, multi-user support is so sick.
But how do you go to the home screen immediately? Do you always have to do like a double sort of flick? 'Cause if so, it's kind of annoying.
And the iPad should seriously be taking notes on this. So anytime you want, either from the notification tray or from the lock screen or anywhere that you see that profile picture for your account, you can switch users. When you set up a new user at first, you basically go through the whole setup process as if you're setting up a brand new tablet, and then that second person can sign into their apps and set up their home screen and their widgets and everything, and you can switch back and forth.
That is so smart. Oh, jeez, that is genius. It's similar to streaming services where like everyone has their own account and they all get their own, recommended TV shows and movies based on your history and stuff like that. But it's like for a tablet. So you get your own apps, everything's signed into your specific accounts. That's awesome.
Forth by logging into each one literally just with your fingerprint. It's exactly as simple as it should be.
My one question to this though is like, who's going to share a tablet with someone else? I could see little kids. I could see kids doing this, but I can't exactly see adults doing this. That makes
It could
sense. People like their own stuff for the most part. I could see like kids sharing it with their like brother and sister, but or maybe like a family tablet. But other than that, like no one's gonna share a tablet.
also totally be like
It's like sharing a phone. It's kind of weird.
one person's personal profile and business profile, so you never get the two confused.
Business profile. You're gonna use a business profile on a Pixel tablet, Marquez? Come on.
Or I don't know, just a profile for your burner accounts, whatever you want to make it. The point is, tablets are often used at home and by families that have more than one person. So
Oh, I already know what he's gonna say in these videos.
I would never do that.
Rocking Apple Watch, not your
Do
fan.
that. So then number 4, last but not least, is the app situation.
So am
This
I.
is something we talk a lot about with Android tablets, and there was a lot of promise with this version and with this tablet that there would be a whole bunch of new tablet optimized apps and that experience would be meaningfully different. And it's not. Well, I guess you could say it's a little bit true. So Google can say that their own apps are now all optimized and take full advantage of the
They have a weather app, not found on the iPad. Fun fact. Or calculator. Although, did they add the weather app? I can't remember. Historically, they have not had a weather app on the iPad because it's too cumbersome, right? Apple cannot just take it and put it on the iPad. Do you know how much work that is? How much work that is to create a weather app? I'm kidding.
larger display. So you
It's
you
not
can
really.
be confident anytime you open a Google app on this Google tablet, it's going to look great. And that's awesome. But for all of the rest of the apps,
I love the bar we've set for ourselves in 2023. You can open an app and it's gonna work. I'd hope so.
that make the world go round, all the third-party apps, all the stuff that you probably are thinking about when getting a tablet that you're going to use, there is no meaningful difference in that situation right now. So a lot
Can
of
we be real with ourselves at what people actually use tablets for? I feel like this is very misleading. People aren't using tablets for productivity on average. I know there's exceptions to the rule. On average, it's mostly just content consumption. People are whipping this thing out and watching YouTube and other streaming services for the most part. Maybe browsing the web or checking their email and stuff. And if they're on an iPad, they're most likely using iMessage. But other than that, no one's sitting here on Notion and writing up their entire life journey and planning their life on a tablet. If they're going to do any productivity work, it's going to be on a laptop or PC. Prove me wrong.
of them are still big phone apps, I would say. Instagram
Oh, I hate this so much.
is still a giant phone app. Twitter is still a giant phone app. Tesla is still a giant phone app. Expedia is still a giant phone.
How do you release this thing without doing that? Same thing goes with Apple. It's like, how do you create apps that are not optimized for the screen size?
Phone app. Cash App is still not optimized. Neither is
Oh, see that cut? He didn't want to show his Cash App information. People might start sending him donos.
TikTok. It still kind of looks weird.
Not even TikTok? Come on.
SoundCloud is like
Also, who uses TikTok in landscape?
half optimized, I guess. Pocket Cast is also halfway there, looking
If you didn't know, he uses Pocket Cast for his podcast.
like a giant
Fun
phone
fact.
app. Overdrop Weather is still
That didn't look like a giant phone
a
app.
blown up phone app, and the list goes on and on. They have this thing where you can double tap the space to the left or to the right to move it over to the side to make it more one-handable, but I mean, yeah, that's it. It's just a big phone app. The app ecosystem for Android tablets is still, to this day, even now that this has arrived, it's still the biggest weakness of an Android tablet. There
Yeah.
is one app that Google can say that they got optimized before the iPad,
Messages?
and that's the calculator. They
Oh,
did do a full scientific, not scientific, but a full-on calculator. There's the history over here
scientific.
to the side. There's the readout,
Yeah.
which you can change the
People are using scientific calculators on their tablet.
size of.
That's like shooting or taking photos with a tablet, basically.
Light and dark theme, all this
Same
stuff.
weirdness.
It's pretty good. Your move, Apple. Some other little random things that didn't quite fit into the full review. When it's docked on the charger, it default charges up to 90%, not 100.
I
do
knew
think
it.
That's smart. It preserves
knew
the
it.
battery life overall. There's also no headphone jack on this tablet, just so you know. And then in case you were wondering, the camera
don't think anyone
quality
cares.
is very much in line with the rest of the
This looks exactly like the iPad 9. Anyone gonna disagree with me on that?
Tablet's hardware, pretty mid. It's good enough
Oh, that looks so bad.
for basic video calls and document
Terrible
scanning, but
exposure.
nobody's shooting any movies on this thing. At the end of the day, though, my conclusion is this.
How do you know, Marquez? How do you know people aren't shooting movies on this?
2-in-1 devices are typically, they're funny because
If you
they're always
want-
like,
People. Let me go back here. This is why I like long form content. It's like I can sit here and freeball this or free. That didn't make sense. If you want a productivity machine, get a laptop. Don't get a tablet. I've made this mistake. I thought I was going to do everything on my iPad. I watched TV shows on it. That's it. And YouTube. Hold on.
is a 2-in-1 device. It's a tablet and it's a smart home hub. So I was wondering, as I got it, like, what is it going to be compromised at? Is it worse at one or worse at the other? Turns out it's a decent, cheap Android tablet, and it's a slightly below average speaker dock, home hub. But that's fine. I think those two things are close enough together and are simple enough that it makes sense at least. I would personally love a super high-end version of this. I'd be so down for like a 120 hertz, super fast.
If you want that, you have to go to the Galaxy. Like the premium premium tablets for Android you'll find them on Samsung's website or Amazon, whatever. But you'll find them from Samsung. Like I knew this going into this tablet that Google was not going to be making a premium tablet because they can't compete with Samsung. The only tablets people use on the Android side of things are from Samsung right now. Prove me wrong on that. I used one. It was great. Samsung Notes is undisputably the best notes app I've ever used. And in the past, Google's never made a premium tablet, so I wasn't expecting one with this. I knew it was going to be budget. I'm not really impressed with this thing, to be honest. Like, I what is this, like $4 something in terms of price? Like 400 and something bucks? I wouldn't pay that for this. No shot. No shot. Anything else he has to say? No, he has nothing to say. That's going to be it for this podcast / video, guys. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the Pixel tablet. If you like it, if you dislike it, if you like or dislike me, if you want to subscribe or not, comment down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video from Tech with Scott. Peace out, everyone.